Hello and welcome to the channel. It is Jay the Wonda Gaming, and I want to say thank you guys for sticking around. I know it's been some years since I've posted anything, and we are now back trying to post. I also have two other YouTube channels, the one for my music, because if you guys know me, you know I do music, and one for motivation, education, entrepreneurship, and insurance, learning about life insurance and supplementary insurance. So make sure that you drop a like and subscribe to those channels as well. They'll be in the description. But first, I want to tell everybody thank you. All of my 99 subscribers that have been around. I know it's been a minute. I know y'all probably wanted to unsubscribe. It's literally been probably 4 or 5 years since there has been anything posted on this channel. So I thank you guys so much for sticking it out, being patient. I know this was a heavy Destiny channel. I did some Dark Souls and things of that nature, but we're going to do a lot of things on this channel versus reviews for movies, video games, and just different materials in general. So there will be more. There will possibly be a podcast in the future. We're trying to really egg this content out and really try to develop something great for the community. So I appreciate all you guys sticking around. So without further ado, we finna roll the intro and we finna get into this Mortal Kombat 2021 movie review. Again, thanks you guys. Sorry for the long intro. Let's go.
I wish I was younger, yet I wish I was older. I'll be brighter than lighter shades in a box of Crayola. Can be more diverse in a verse that can make a next.
All right, here we go. Mortal Kombat review. All right. First and foremost, just let you know if you are one of those people that do not like spoilers or don't like details about certain things, this is your opportunity to click off right now because I'm just going to tell you what happens. Now, if you are a Mortal Kombat person and you have played the game multiple times, every version of it from Deadly Alliance all the way up to the current one now, it's really hard to spoil you because there are so many different endings and story outlets. I don't think it would really matter, as it's not like the deep story plot of this movie. It's anything to really revel on about, as you possibly would know with the Mortal Kombat games. They do have some great story contents, but overall, it's not like it's a big deal. Anyway, if you don't like spoilers and you're just one of those people, then this is your chance because I'm about to get into it. All right, now that I've said that, here we go. Mortal Kombat, my honest opinion. It is possibly a 5 out of 10. I'm just going to let you know. I think the movie is average. It is not terrible. There are some really goofy things, but the biggest problem with this movie is very terrible pacing. Now, let me just throw this out here. I am also a part-time professional actor. I have an agent. I have been in movies. I've been extra. I have done a lot of different things. So let's not, ignore the fact that these things are very difficult to do. This is a huge project, and I'm talking about all movies in general, including budget, the continuity, the keeping things all the way down. It's a lot that goes into it, okay? So mad respect to all movies that I critique from this day on forward. I will probably always open with that. Mad respect to everybody that's in the movie. My opinion and the things that I say is not to disrespect the movie. That's just my honest opinion, but mad respect because it is not easy. It is very difficult. It is hard. It is a lot of work, and the work and effort that goes into these things, guys, if you have not been around it, it is extremely tedious. So shout out to them. Now, back to what I was saying. Pacing is terrible in this movie, in my opinion. Things happen way too fast. On top of certain moments where you could tell that they possibly got some ideas from, old school martial art action films. There was just a lot of like unnecessary action and points. And then there were like very sped up action points. One of the biggest things that threw me off, and I noticed a lot of weird things, for example, in the opening scene, as you can see here, some of the emotional connect that I should really care about, I don't really care about because they don't explain anything. They try to make Scorpion, as you guys know, is not necessarily a good person. They try to highlight him as a good guy when he really isn't. First and foremost, you probably, if you know anything about Mortal Kombat, all of the ninja clans are terrible people. They all war and try to kill each other. I'm not saying Bihan is right by murdering him and his family, but I'm just saying that like they do that to each other. That's what they do. This is what they do. They've been doing it. Whatever. So he goes and he does that. the weirdest thing that I noticed about all of this foolishness, all of the fight, and that fight scene wasn't terrible, but like when he flipped on a dead person, I just didn't understand that. There was really no point in him doing that. I just what, why? Like I don't get it. So you have that. Then you had him fight B-Hun. This fight was probably the most very underwhelming fight the whole time. It was just really weird. It was really weird. The fighting was just very kind of not high paced. I think the guy who played B-Hun, I've seen him in a movie, and I think I seen him. I think he played in The Warrior, which is off of HBO. Which I actually enjoyed that show, but I think he was in that as well. I think he was one of the side characters from my memory. But yeah, anyway, it was a very underwhelming fight. Then the way it ends, he kills Scorpion, not really, but stabs him in the neck and then walks away. All of a sudden, after question mark amount of time, Scorpion like wakes up because he hears his descendant son, whatever you want to call it, crying, and then he crawls and then dies before he gets there. I'm not sure what emotional pull that they were trying to use, but they kind of screwed all that up. Also, if this guy put in all this work to just murder your family and the clan, I just don't see how he, and also expert ninja, would walk away and leave you half alive unless he just did it on purpose, but he wouldn't have because he literally wanted you to see your family be killed and all your clan be murdered. I don't know. There was like a disconnect with that. Okay, so that was off. Also, shout out to Mekhi Brooks because he was Jax. We're gonna get on Jax in a little bit, but shout out to Mekhi Brooks because I think this is another big film by him. But yeah, so we have that. Then instead of them going the route where we're talking about the tournament, it really isn't a tournament. The whole movie, they didn't fight in a tournament. Yes, and say what you will about the old Mortal Kombat, but when it came to the one-on-one fight scenes for the tournament, they were like way better. Like the fight between, I believe, Reptile and Liu Kang was just a way better fight. Like all of the one-on-one fights in that tournament were way better than what's in this movie. They were epic. And the funny thing is they didn't even have really no CGI in it. Like it was really a better experience, honestly. But they didn't even do that. As far as the people that they had in the movie, we'll go to Jax. And we'll just skip to this part because this really bothered me about Jax. So first, again, shout out to Mekhi Brooks, but Jax, oh my God. So he loses his arms, and in all the games, he loses them in different ways, from Baraka cutting his arms off to Goro pulling his arms off. I mean, it has been done so many times how his arms get pulled off. So that's not, in this movie, Sub-Zero freezes his arms off. So I see this coming because they building him up to be the main antagonist. Like he's the bad guy or whatever. But yeah, anyway, and then that clan, they have issues. They were whatever. So we have that happen. So after that, they put these little arms, these little ass like tiny arms on Mekhi Brooks. And like the majority of the movie, he run around with these little arms. And then we had this weird anime moment where anime it feels like filler. So they have this training moment where they're training to get their arcana, which is the power, the internal power that they have, which also, by the way, whatever. To even point that out was really weird. And what really just killed, like, it's one of the killing moments of the movie. He had these little arms and his arcana made the big arms form. Until these big arms, I'm just like, that's not even his arcana, because Jax actually could like, whatever. Anyway, that's what his arcana was. So he turned the little arms into big arms. So that happened. Also, by the way, his art design, I really would have rathered him to go with the full beard Jax, not the mustache Jax. I think bald-headed, full-bearded Mekhi Brooks Jax would have been way like sexier. It'd been like way doper. And I'm straight. I'm not gay. I'm just saying it would have looked a whole lot better due to his looks. I'm an artistic person, so I can look at things like that. Speaking of things that look good, Luke Kane's shoulders in the movie, that dude looks so ripped. Like, man, he been in the gym. I got to get in the gym like that and get them arms. So that brother was ripped. Also, the whole thing, and then if you play Mortal Kombat, you already know that Kung Lao dies in every Mortal Kombat because Shang Tsung kills him, and that's kind of the thing. And that happens in the movie, but it's normally he challenges Shang Tsung and then he dies. They didn't do that. He was like running and then Shang Tsung just kind of sideswiped him and took his soul, which was really goofy because that really kills the whole point because he actually challenges him because he was supposed to be the chosen one. So when that happened, it really just downplayed his whole position in the whole show or movie because really his death is what motivates Liu Kang to get as powerful as he is because honestly, low-key, Liu Kang really is truly the chosen one. But whatever, which he loses to like, I can't even think of his name, I've lost it, but the guy with the hooks that runs really fast, he was getting whooped the whole movie by him. It was just very just chaotically weird. And then they had everybody kind of, now I do like this. When people got murdered or killed in the movie, like the actual characters, they did do the shout out. They did some fan service where they did the whole fatality and they would say it. So I thought that was pretty funny and cool. I didn't mind that. But overall, and then they had like some characters that really shouldn't have been in the movie. I don't know why Natara was there. I don't even understand. Like she's a minor character and she was only in like what, Deadly Alliance? I don't even remember why, like, or Reiku. I don't know these people like that. I just felt like this would be an opportunity. Melina's a huge fan favorite. To have her in the movie and then like die in like 2 seconds was just kind of weird, especially with her being related to the other sisters that are really big players in the universe, Katana and Jade. I just feel like that was a huge missed opportunity, like a huge missed opportunity. Overall, as I've just rambled about a bunch of things, I think the movie is a 5 out of 10. I think it's just an average movie. I don't think it's a bad movie, though it sounds like I think it's a bad movie because I'm kind of critical, but that's just my eyes on things. Like, I'm so critical that I noticed that when Scorpion in the first scene sliced open Sub-Zero's stomach, that literally a scene later, all that blood in her stomach just disappeared. So I'm like that type of like looking at stuff. So you can't really go by me because I pay attention to small stuff like, oh man, they didn't realize they should have just left that on his stomach. It was really weird how they did that, but whatever. I think it was like CGI cut. Maybe that's the reason why. I'm not quite sure. But if you like Mortal Kombat, I think you will appreciate what they tried to do in this movie. If you just want to watch an action movie to kind of disengage out of this current thing that's going on in our lives, I think it does that trick. Do I think it's amazing movie that deserves a sequel? No, not with what they had. Do I think it could have potential if maybe the next movie they kind of really clean up a lot of things? Yes. If they do a sequel to it, will it make the fans happy? I think so. I'm a fan of Mortal Kombat, but I'm also kind of a fan of art, and I think the movie's alright. Would I recommend watching the movie? If you don't have anything else to do, I think it's a good watch, but is it worth watching more than once? No. So those are my thoughts on the movie. You guys, let me know in the comments. Drop in the comments, what do you think about the movie? Do you think it was bad? Do you think it was dope? What were some issues? And there's a bunch of things I can get into. I just didn't want the video to be too long because we could talk about Cole and how useless he was the whole time in the whole fight until he got his weird whatever arcana with his bladed tonfas and how he literally killed Goro like within a couple seconds after that happening, which didn't make any sense at all whatsoever. We can talk about the very overplayed fight scene with him and Scorpion fighting Bi-Han together, which made no sense because it's not even like, I don't know, that was super weird. And then like that or whatever. So we can go into that. Sonya Blade's whole trying to get whatever to be the chosen one. That was really weird. Kano was cool. The actor was fine for Kano, but I don't think I think his art design was really bad, and just the whole like laser eye, but it's not really a laser eye. It came out his actual eye because Arcana. Like I just don't really understand that, but whatever. That happened, and yeah, I just and everybody like literally died, and like the fights. I'm gonna just to tell you how bad the pacing was. It was like they said something, then the fight lasted like 5 seconds, but it's like someone died and they moved to the next one. Like it seemed like the ending of the movie was so rushed. They were just really trying to get to the end to go, it's not over yet. Cause I'm Shang Tsung and I'm not done yet. Like it was very, very weird. And I just, yeah. Could it have been better? Not a lot of dialogue. Dialogue really didn't have any meaning, to be honest with you. Nothing, no really strong one-liners that I could remember. I think the only one-liner thing that they did was when she lied to Kano and told Kano that she had $3 million, and then he asked her $3 million, and she said, "Look where I live." I think that was that was literally out of all of the dialogue. I think I remember that. I think that was the only thing that I remembered. Other than that, I didn't too much remember anything else. Yeah, it was a little bit all over the place, but I still stand by what I say. I think it's worth a watch if you are someone that's interested in that fan base or whatever. If you just want something to kind of burn your time, I don't think it was a terrible movie. I think it was good. Like I say, I would give it just an average. I may give it a 6 out of 10. But overall, just a 5. Not terrible. Running joke. It's better than Wonder Woman 84. So, it's better than that. So you got that. It's better than Mulan, and Mulan was quite terrible to me. So it's better than those movies. So if you thought those movies was good, then this is a movie you'll be okay with this movie. Other than that, I appreciate y'all. It's Jada Wonda. This is Jada Wonda Gaming. Again, I appreciate you guys for sticking around with no content for so long. So I'll holler at you guys.
There's not enough color. The only shades the world see is black and green. I see the same things, man. It's black in me. The goal of the whole is where you crash your dreams.